Glasgow City Council has audited its statues, and it's bad news, of course. This is from The Express, Josh.
This is from The Express, and we're covering it on GBNews, and that's just the way it goes. Statues. Let's go back to statues. Wow, God, statues feel like the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good old...
Mid-2020 was the height of the statue.
The height of the statues, yeah.
That's when the fellow went into Bristol Dock.
So they've... Glasgow City Council, they have commissioned this report. The report's come back saying that some statues are dodgy or, possibly need to be looked at. And some of them, some of these examples they've chosen are just absolutely ridiculous. You've got Gladstone and Mr Peel, who were anti-slavery campaiggners, but because of their connections through their father.
Gladstone's name was taken off a university building, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's ridiculous. David Livingstone, he worked as a spinner in a mill that used West Indian cotton. Well, he was exploited as well. You're working in a mill. That ain't exactly...
No. David Livingstone, the explorer.
That's what I'm guessing. So yeah, it must be him. So
I'd be very surprised if that's the most problematic incident.
Well, that's what they're saying is the reason why is because he worked in a mill that used this cotton. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, yes, there are problematic statues, but get it right. If that's your job, is to find these statues out, at least get it right.
Maybe there aren't. Maybe they've run out. It does feel to me sometimes like there are people who seem to be invested in the idea of just rubbishing the history of these.
Well, there's also people who make a living out of it now.
Yeah, well, that's where I want to jump in, is the history. So, OK, I'm not necessarily a fan of, getting rid of cancelling statues because there are links to slavery. I think we shouldn't forget that history and that these statues are actually important to remind us that these people did do these things. In this instance, I mean, I can't believe even the headline, Hatchet Job, woke slavery audit lists the next 8 statues to be cancelled. So I think that's actually, I don't want them cancelled. I want us to remember the history.
Yeah.
The ugly
but even if you have a statue of William Gladstone, I don't know why he's there, but William Gladstone was arguably the single greatest reforming prime minister.
Well, they're saying because his dad wasn't, because he must.
Yeah, but is it a statue of his dad?
Sons have got to pay for the crimes of the father.
Well, that's exactly what.
If it's a statue of his dad, it's not.
No, it's not. It's a statue.
And we have been through this before because he was definitely cancelled from I think it was a Hall of Residence in Liverpool. It was renamed because of this ridiculous association again.
Yeah.
We've been through this, it's ridiculous.
And
what does Glasgow think it's going to achieve with this in particular? I mean, it's not a,
part of me's like, it's ridiculous, but part of me also realises that the article, and even us by even talking about it, are sort of promoting this kind of...
No, I don't think we're promoting. I think we're drawing attention to it, and people can become aware that they've got a council that's engaged in all kinds of frippery and nonsense. We can't imagine Glasgow's got money to waste.
Well, it's just at the end of the article, it goes, the council has previously...
losing a place where men can pee when they get drunk and come out the pubs. Maybe that's the only thing. I don't know.
Place for a pigeon to perch.